everyone. How are you? This is Kenny, the agent slash investor, and how y'all doing on this lovely day today? Now, as always, for warning, you already know my background noise is horrible. I only have one or two spots for me to do it at, and no matter what, somebody always makes some type of noise in the background. So, giving y'all full warning. Now, warning's done. Now, with that being said, today we are going to talk about discrimination in real estate. And I'm not going to say why it's still happening because as a black person, we practically know why it's still happening. But 2024, why is it still happening? And the subtle signs of what goes on in real estate. Now, just to let you know, this information that I have found is 3 months old. So it happened back in May, but it wasn't really talked about. I was strolling on TikTok in June after I had my daughter, and this lady, I don't know what her name is on TikTok, but she's a real estate agent too in state of Virginia, 7 cities, which is this is where it happens at, by the way, in my home state, Virginia, the 7 cities, Tidewater, Hampton Roads area, 757. I may use that interchangeably, just to let you know, by the way. But she was talking about how the way a lady, a black woman, was discriminated against in real estate, purchasing a home that she was looking for her and her, I want to say husband, or maybe this was for herself. So I did a little background digging on this article. So yes, like I said, it happened back in May. Give me 1 second because my baby girl is trying to get up. Okay, I still gotta be a mom at the end of the day. Okay, sorry about that. Now, I'm gonna try to make this quick as possible. But now, like I was saying, her name is Dr. Raven Baxter, and not Raven Baxter off of the Disney Channel for the millennials that actually knows. But her name was Dr. Raven Baxter. She's from the New York area, basically. So to sum it up, she saw a house because she was looking for a house down here in the 757 area. So she found something that she liked at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. That's where we get the most tourist attractions at, which is oceanfront. That's where everybody goes at during the summertime. So she happily looked up this house online. It was a condo, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, a little walk away from the actual beach itself, which is oceanfront. What else? It had a fireplace and everything else that she was looking for. So she saw this online and fell in love with it. Of course, she had a real estate agent that she was working with, which, by the way, I will not put these brokerage names out there at all. I will put down in the description box where I got the information from, and you can read that up from there and do your own research. But she was working with a real estate agent, and she basically asked his real estate agent, like, hey, I'm interested in this house or whatever. So they agreed upon the price that the house was selling for, which is, if I'm not mistaken from reading the article, it was 750K, close to that. With that being said, she agreed to it, went along went along with the transaction still in progress and still going right now as we speak. And from there, she went to go see the house up close and personal, face to face. Now, in one of the articles that I was reading, it had stated that her and the lady that stayed there, which, by the way, she's a white older woman, 84 years old. Her name is Jane. She lives there, just trying to sell the house. Jane and Dr. Raven, where Dr. Baxter was basically having a discussion about one of the things that needed to get fixed in the house that she wanted to be fixed. So they trying to say maybe that's the reason to mask it, but like I said, I put the article out there. But Jane basically told her real estate agent that she did not want to sell to Dr. Baxter at all because basically she is a black woman. So her agent went back and told Dr. Baxter agent, which is that's how Dr. Baxter got the information, and then she went online and vented out from there. To sum it up, even though this is 2024, racism still happens no matter what the situation is. I don't care as a black person how much money that you make. You could be a billionaire and it's still going to be racism happening. When you are working in the real estate market and you as a seller, because I seen somebody has said this on TikTok, like, well, that's her house. So if that's Jane's house, she don't have to sell it to nobody. Yeah, that is true in a sense, but when you are working with a real estate agent, you cannot just come out and tell your real estate agent, like, yeah, I don't want to sell to black people. I don't want to sell to Chinese people. I don't want to sell to Hispanics. You can't come out and tell your real estate agent, like, yeah, I don't, especially if you're buying a house, yeah, I don't want to live close to black people. I don't want to stay over there with those Jewish people. You cannot just come out and tell your real estate agent that, especially if you're working with me. Please don't come out and tell me that, because I would be quick to drop you as my client and would not think twice at all, because I'm not losing my license because you don't want to stay with whoever you don't want to stay with in your area. I would drop you very quick like a sack of potatoes. But when you are working with a agent or working with a brokerage on either side, listing side or buying side, it already states, and I'm going to quote this, the VA Fair Housing Act makes it illegal to discriminate in residential housing based off of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, elderliness, familiar status, disability, source of fund, military status, sexual. Oh, and they added these two in, I want to say last year or year before last, for all of anybody that's in the LGBTQ community: sexual orientation or gender identity. We cannot discriminate against none of that at all. So when Miss Jane Walker had basically told her agent why, 9 times out of 10, most white people use subtle context, stating why they don't want to sell to a person of color or sex or whatever the case may be. But she just came out and just said it. I thought the article was pretty spot on. The reason why most people of my complexion or Hispanics or anybody else out there have a hard time of getting a house or getting anything when it comes to real estate, because we do get discriminated against. This is the whole reason why I got my real estate license. Not only to try, of course, to make money for me and my family, because that's one of the biggest reasons why, but it was also to try to, what I'm doing right now, educate people of color out there about what goes on in real estate. Yes, in 2024, we do still get discriminated against when it comes to purchasing a house. That includes redlining when we're not supposed to be redlining. That includes what Dr. Baxter just went through, gentrification. What else? You got some people out there when they are, if they of a person of color that's trying to sell their home, you got them out there talking to appraisals, and appraisals will actually lowball their house when, if that person of color changed their home up and put pictures of a white person in that home will actually be at the price that's supposed to be at. So yes, it still happens in 2024. So I'm just making y'all aware of what's going on in the real estate market. And technically speaking, all of this supposed to have stopped back in, or making it illegal back in 1968 and the Civil Rights Act of 1866. All this supposed to have stopped back then, but it's still going on now. Like I said before, I'll put in the description box as far as from the article that I have read and got this from. But What is your questions that you have, even if you're not a person of color? What is your questions that you have as far as what's going on in the real estate market when it comes to discrimination or anything like that? What is your comments or concerns, or do you think that it still actually happens, or do you think that people of color just over exaggerate? Just tell me and let's talk about it. Anywho, I am Kenita, the agent slash investor. If you and your family is looking to sell a house or to purchase a house in the 7 cities, of course, in the state of Virginia, I am here to help. Always look me up. And also, my telephone number is 757-447-0666, or you can Google me as Kenita, the agent slash investor. Y'all have a lovely day. Bye.